Oh shit.
You get that?
Probably.
Well, he can't be here. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
We gotta get rid of him. We either kill him or you let me like throw him away. Like, he can't just be chilling here.
Oh man, be careful, man. Yeah. Shit. Oh, it's going on. Oh, man.
Leave him? You can't leave him. You gotta...
Whoa.
He lives under here. Fuck. There's a hole over there.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Man, we can't have it.
Can we get some proper equipment?
I have proper.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's right there. See?
Oh shit.
Peter.
Yeah, careful, man. Oh shit. Yeah, man. It's moving. I back up, back up. Back up.
Terry.
You gotta be 100%. Tell me you got him.
Got him?
Yeah.
Now what do we do?
Take him out of here. Just sitting in him. Are you guys gonna come with me?
Well, yeah.
This is fucking badass. I got a fucking rattlesnake in my hand. Like, we just caught a rattlesnake. Is she freaking out? Look at those eyes.
Are you freaking out holding a rattlesnake in your hand?
No, not really.
Where are you fenced to take him?
I want to put him in that one abandoned kangaroo rat hole. I think it's right up here.
Yeah. Maybe he likes his new home.
Hopefully. I mean, there's nothing in there because there's spider webs on all the holes. So hopefully he just goes in his little hole there. Looks like he's going in. He's kind of investigating. But he's staring at us like, get the hell out.
Like, we're done here.
Fuck off. So we'll just
Hello everyone. So what you just saw was our little adventure with our first rattlesnake. And of course this video was starring Peter here. I wanted to talk to you, Pete, after people have watched this video. What you did over there, you probably wouldn't recommend anyone just doing that, right? Like you...
No. I'd say don't try that at home.
Don't try that at home. This guy here has quite a bit of knowledge as far as snakes goes. He knows a lot about snakes. He's had a lot of experience handling snakes. You want to talk a little bit about that?
I grew up just catching different animals and stuff with my hands. I remember I had a pair of pet snakes, and they used to get out all the time of the cage, which my mom wasn't too fond of, but she'd always be yelling, "Peter, your snakes are out." So I learned pretty quickly in that amount of time of having them how to properly catch them without them biting you, because those snakes, like, they didn't want to go back in their cage. They were wild snakes that I caught and I tried keeping as pets, which I don't recommend doing that either. That's a bad idea. They belong out in the wild.
And someone taught you a little bit about handling snakes, right?
Yeah, my stepdad, he was a big factor. He's the one that actually, like, caught the snakes, and he kind of showed me. He's like, you gotta get them behind the head like this, and, you know, kind of like showed me how. I've also watched like a lot of different animal documentaries where they catch snakes. Now those people are like professionally trained. It's a little different,
But this was your first time getting to, well, not your first time, but your first time especially dealing with like a rattlesnake.
yeah, like a venomous snake.
But you handled it pretty good. Now, a lot of people in this area, they shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah.
Like, one thing is that you do not want to have them right around your domicile. But you could have killed this thing, but you chose like a catch and release. Why is that?
They obviously have their benefits in nature, keeping the rodent population down. That can cause other kinds of infestations. If you have a lot of rodents, you're going to have a lot of fleas or lice or different insect infestations that you probably don't want that. Like mice and rats, it's probably not a good infestation to have, but fleas and, you know, stuff like that, that could kill you, you know. That's how people don't understand, like, the bubonic plague. That's how it spread, because people killed a lot of snakes and predators, and then the rats and mice had nothing, you know, so they just overpopulated, and then all those fleas spread the disease to the people, you know.
Obviously you don't want rattlesnakes around where you live, but when you start taking out elements of that food web, other things are going to get out of control. If you can catch and release, that might be the better way to go. Of course, if someone's life is in peril, obviously.
Yeah, then you gotta
make a decisive action. But if you can, if there's a trained professional, someone that knows what they're doing, obviously, maybe just removal of the snake to a slightly further area.
Yeah.
What things would you do to minimize rattlesnakes in near someone's home?
Well, obviously the snakes are going to be attracted to, you know, places to hide, like rocks. They like to hide in crevices and stuff. Also, you know, like if you're leaving food outside and, you know, like let's say you're feeding the squirrels or the birds and stuff, and then all that food drops down on the ground, well, you're going to have a lot more rodents coming. You might not see them in the daytime, but they come out at night, and then you're going to have snakes in the area. They could be hiding, and then, you know, one morning it's nice and cool outside and the snake comes out to sun itself, and you stick your foot in the wrong place and get bit, you know. So just try to minimize like all the food that's out there, or kind of clean it up, all the excess food that rodents would be attracted to.
So why do you think this rattlesnake chose the motorhome?
Well, when I first was coming in, Crew had seen a little baby rabbit, and he tried chasing after the little baby rabbit, and I pulled him away, took him inside. I called JJ out and I was like, oh, look at this little rabbit, it's so cute. And then it wasn't a little rabbit there anymore, there was a rattlesnake. So I think, you know, he was kind of hunting. So you probably, you know, if you see rabbit nests, that could be an attractant too. Mm-hmm. So maybe, you know, you could even relocate the rabbit nests. Or,
plus we have a lot of, sorry to interrupt, but we have a lot of grass under there too.
Yeah.
So it says a lot of shade under there. There's a lot of grass, so
and the grass,
that's like a perfect place for them to hide, and kind of like...
The grass kind of protects them against the wind and stuff too, so, you know, maybe clear out any areas of long, tall grass. Obviously you want to know where you're stepping and make sure you're not stepping on one of them.
And that's how a lot of accidents happen too. Like, it's not so much just wandering through, because of the snake will see you ahead of time and it'll warn you. A lot of accidents happen when you catch someone by surprise, when opening up a shed real quick and stuff like that.
Or a brush pile and you're like sorting out the brush and there's a snake in it.
So it's being aware of like where these snakes could be. Don't just like leap in without you know, taking that extra precaution.
Maybe poke around first with a stick or something.
Hey, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Watch out, any snakes.
So one thing about being out here in this arid climate in the country, yeah, being out here in southern Arizona, it's a harsh place to live. You know, it's an arid climate, and in order to survive, the plants and animals out here, they gotta be tough. They gotta be badass. You know, even the plants, the bushes are all thorny. The cacti are, you know, pokey. And we got things like rattlesnakes, scorpions.
Even the insects, you know.
The centipedes.
There's centipedes, like the one that crawled in my shoe the other day. You know,
They're
tarantula
big.
hawks,
Yeah.
velvet ants.
The harvester ants even, those are,
yeah,
got a painful sting and they're all over the place. It's just something that we gotta deal with. We gotta be prepared for. So as you see in the video of Peter wrangling the snake, you know, we weren't fully prepared for that.
I was.
He didn't have a problem. I was like freaking out. You know, I didn't want to see my baby brother going to the hospital or something. We're at the stage right now where we're getting things set up. We're preparing for living out here, getting our life support systems in place. And now's the time that we gotta be getting ready for things like this.
All right, now it's getting cozy. So what do we do going forward to not only prevent rattlesnake or snakes from getting around where we live, but then also, like, if we do come across that, how do we deal with it? One thing is to sort of clear out the area underneath the trailers, maybe lay some gravel down, minimize the habitat underneath there.
Make it more visible anyway.
Exactly, so you can see what's going on.
And then obviously just check for snakes, you know, like throughout the day, in the morning and the evening, that's when they're out, when it starts cooling down and the sun isn't so intense. And you know, that's in the desert, that's when things start coming alive.
One thought I had is actually creating some snake habitat. So that way it draws snakes to where you maybe want them and away from maybe where you don't want them. That way you can sort of control, or yeah, kind of control a little bit about where nature might meander.
Isn't that something that Jeff Lawton mentioned too? And he lives in Australia where there's some
Even deadlier snakes.
Yeah.
So if Jeff Lawton has some ideas about how to control snakes, might be a good idea to listen. And if we should run across a rattlesnake, it might be a good idea to have some equipment, some better equipment rather than just some sticks and a poop scooper.
That I did.
The poop scooper didn't come in handy, but you grabbed it.
Yeah.
As a possibility. So maybe like a some kind of snake grabbing tool.
and
PPE.
personal.
Protective equipment. You need the right personal protective equipment when running up against rattlesnakes.
And I know you kind of mentioned it, but you know, having the knowledge about the animals is very important when you're dealing with it. And you know, what we try to do out here is, you know, we're having respect for the land, the earth, the plants, and the animals, and that requires knowledge about them.
And I know you mentioned the harvester ants. These guys did a nice little video on harvester ants. If you're interested in checking that out, I'll leave a link to that video down below.
I'm sure we're going to be coming across other crazy things out here that hopefully we can share with you.
Stay tuned because we're going to go into detail on a lot of these little insects and animals out there. These guys are doing a video series based on native plants and animals. So stay tuned because you guys have a dung beetle video coming out soon, right? Dung beetle video. Definitely check it out. That's coming soon. That's coming down the pipeline. You heard it here first. Alright, thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe to see if this guy still lives. This guy's getting into crazy adventures. Hopefully, he'll be around.
He'll be around.
He'll be around.
Don't worry, Mom.
Share this with your friends. And you can follow us on all the different types of social media.
Facebook?
Instagram.
And Twitter. Yeah.